Well, here we are again. We gather here today to mourn the loss of our collective sanity and come together in this time of uncertain turmoil and ask ourselves, what in the gosh darn heck was this movie? So just a little bit ago, I made a video about A Simple Favor, which was like a 2018 kind of cult hit, I guess. A lot of people seem to like the movie, but I thought it was just the most Paul Fig movie ever made. And then 7 years later, we get the sequel, and like, oh boy, the training wheels were off on this one. And it's not just me who thinks so, okay? I don't know who is clamoring for a sequel to this, except maybe Blake Lively trying to make a comeback, and boy, she sure came back to something. Anyway, let's check it out. Come along, kids. Let's take a walk. But before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Surfshark VPN is an app and browser extension that lets you change your IP address to be pretty much anywhere in the world you want. Now, what this means for you is it protects you from websites and other users trying to snoop on what you're doing and from where. Maybe your country has some like weird, strict content censoring laws, or you just don't want people to potentially hack your accounts. Well, Surfshark VPN can help you with all of that. But it also has a lot of very practical day-to-day uses, like allowing you to watch the Netflix libraries from almost any country. Fun fact, Slovakia has by far the highest number of movies and TV shows you can watch, with over 7,400 titles compared to 5,800 in the US. And all you gotta do is just install Surfshark VPN and tell it to put your IP address in Slovakia, and there you go. You have access to an extra 1,600 titles. Or Japan and Taiwan have the biggest anime libraries on Netflix, so using Surfshark VPN, you can have access to all of that. Or in the reverse, if you're traveling away from your country, you want to stay up to date on a certain show you're watching or whatever, you can use Surfshark VPN to put your IP address in your home country, and then wham bam bam bow, there you go. And gives you access to all of this. And get this, you can use a single subscription on an unlimited number of devices. So let's say you and 4 other family members, y'all want to pitch in on one subscription. That means you get all of this for 50 cents a month. So click my link down below. You're gonna get 4 extra months added to your subscription. So click my link and sign up today. Okay, back to the show. We start off again with our old pal Stephanie, who is now a live streamer because, you know, between 2018 and now, the YouTube algorithm sure ain't playing ball, you know what I'm saying?
Anyway, since I'm under house arrest now, a lot of you have been asking why I would put myself in this situation in the first place, which is pretty rich because, you know, you were all singing a different tune a few days ago. But I want to be clear, I did not kill Emily's husband.
That's what you would say, isn't it, Stephanie? You can't reverse psychology me. I know every trick in the book. Every time I see Kelsey, I'm like, oh my goodness, your new hair sure looks amazing. Golly gee willikers, that new thing you're doing is really working for you. But after like the 8th time in one day, I think she's starting to catch on to me. So since the first movie, Stephanie's written a book that's totally definitely not about Emily, and the book is selling fine, but like not as much as everyone wishes. Miles is now older and therefore hates his mom.
Let me fill you in on how we got here. A few days ago, I was running late for my reading at the Book Nook, and I was packing Miles up for camp, and I was pretty flustered because my smooch is gonna be gone for a few weeks, and—
Mom! Are you kidding me? You monogrammed my camp shirts. Everyone's gonna laugh at me.
No, Miles, you're missing the bigger picture here, okay? See, now they're just gonna make fun of you for having your name on your shirt, instead of systematically picking apart every physical insecurity you've ever had about yourself, okay? You're getting off easy with this one. Anyway, so Miles is off to summer camp, which has only ever been the worst time in my life, but hey, at least that turned out kind of funny, huh?
Any Smothers, are you helicopter parenting again?
No, Darren, I'm not.
Yes, Darren, she is.
I've got this. Young lady, please don't get pregnant. Young man, don't get anyone pregnant.
And so Stephanie goes on her book tour, where she does the thing where she reads like little excerpts from the book, you know, where it's like, Bob the Tomato from VeggieTales looked up at Link, the guy from that one game where everything you make explodes for some reason. Link smiled with passionate eyes. He was a man of few words, but Bob knew what he meant. Bob tried to reach out and push Link's honey-like locks behind his ear, but yet again he was reminded that he had no hands nor arms. A war injury, years ago. He clenched his fist in frustration. But like, in his mind. Link's arm snaked its way around Bob's red, rotund mass and gently hoisted him onto the bed. Careful you don't bruise me, Bob purred with that weird Midwestern voice he had for like the first couple scenes in the show. Link's voice was sweet poetry to Bob, the ambrosia in the desert of life in the produce aisle. Forgive me, Larry, Bob thought, but I must pursue this. The night was passionate, but the love was brief. Bob was recalled for E. coli. But then, just when things are getting good, you'll never guess who walks right in.
I think about her husband, Sean, broken.
You can't go in there.
I think about the small role that I played in that sad destiny.
Hello, Darren. Terrible shoes.
Sorry I hit you with my car.
Forgot about that.
Oh, I sure didn't. That was the best part of that movie.
Come on, you're still his mom!
So Emily's out of prison on appeal because she's getting married and her fiance has these super amazing lawyers. And really, Emily came here just to ask Stephanie for a bit of a simple favor.
Thank everyone. Stephanie Smothers, will you be my maid of honor?
Now, if she doesn't go, Emily's gonna sue her for using her likeness in the book without her permission. So Stephanie's like, yeah, sure. The next thing you know, she's off to Italy on Emily's fiance's private jet. Cause hey, everyone loves White Lotus, so let's do our own crappy version of that. Wait, I'm sorry. What is this? What is this outfit? You're just gonna Al Capone on the airplane for 12 hours?
Come on, we're late.
Sorry, Vicky had to pick up some stuff. She's my book agent, and she's an insurance policy.
Oh, because I won't kill you both? You're cute.
You know, it's really so inspiring how Blake Lively gets to just play herself in everything she ever does. Anyway, so they fly off to Italy, and turns out all this is so much more than Stephanie was expecting. The plane is full of like a who's who of rich people. She tries to vlog stuff, and everyone freaks out and makes her put her phone away. This is also where we get to learn a little bit more about this mysterious fiancé dude guy.
Oh, how'd you meet Dante?
I moved to Rome for a minute when I was in my 20s. I was totally broke, but in heaven, it was all so big and dangerous, and my job was just at a dive bar, but that's where I met Dante. He was just, he was gorgeous.
Wait, hold on. No. Is that Massimo from 365 Days? No, they did not do this to me.
After all these years, told him your new real name, and he took you back even though you were in jail.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of owe you. He saw me on the news thanks to you.
Yeah, so basically their reunion meet cute was just like, wait, hey, are you in prison for murder? Yeah, word, my dude, that's crazy. Want to make out? So they get to Italy, and Dante's there doing his thing. Are you lost, baby girl? So the whole time, Stephanie's kind of feeling weird about this. Like, besides the whole Emily thing, there's just something kind of off. In a Paul Feig movie? No way. Emily's ex-husband, Sean, is there too, and he's apparently having some feelings.
That's sick. Nikki, can you cut it out with a drone, please? You're gonna give me a brain aneurysm over here or something.
I can put it on stealth mode.
Well, why'd you have to run it at all?
I'm looking for Mom.
You don't need a drone to find your mom, okay? Just follow the trail of destruction.
You know what, Nikki? Let me tell you something, okay? Life's just is one big lie, okay? Did you know that in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's not even a real actual shadow realm? They just made that up for the English version, okay? And let me tell you something right now, okay? Women are all the same. They're always like, I don't want anything. I'm not even hungry. And then they eat all your fries? Whatever, okay? 9/11 wasn't even real.
I am curious, though. What did she say to you to convince you to come to this farce?
Oh, little emotional blackmail, a potential lawsuit, sort of dangling my livelihood over my head. Yeah, this is girlfriend stuff.
So they're all at this pre-wedding dinner, lunch, rehearsal, shindig, get-together, kickback, and Stephanie is once again unable to read the room whatsoever and keeps trying to vlog everything, and everyone's like,
All the way in Capri, still safe and sound so far. Check out this place, huh? I think they put up all the flowers. Otherwise, these ancient ruins would be real disappointing.
Give me the phone now.
Hey, now to be fair, I feel like doing the same thing whenever I see vloggers out in real life too, okay? But here's where we finally get the other piece of the picture about what's really going on here.
Dante's in the mob?
The Bartolos and Versanos are business rivals.
Everybody here's in the mob?
You stop saying mom, or you're gonna get us both whacked. Look at your face. No, but seriously, don't say it. Because they won't whack me, but, they might whack you.
Wait, hold on a gosh darn second here. She's marrying this guy, and turns out he's actually in the Italian mafia. Well, I never. I tell you, the range on these two actors, incredible. Follow your dreams, kids. So yeah, things go about as well as you might expect. Sean is over here having a time. Dante's mom is being Italian.
This is my wedding gift to you. The gift of your own true family. Your dear mother, Margaret.
If you remember way back in the first movie, Stephanie talked to Emily's mom, and she has like this full-on like alcoholic dementia or whatever, and she thinks that her daughters were like birthed by Satan or something, and not much has changed since.
Is that your son?
Yeah, okay, yep.
You don't need to.
Are you really my grandma?
Yeah, this is her. Oh. Demon spawn. Child of Satan.
And this is Emily's Aunt Linda, who's taking care of Emily's mom. And then Sean's just over here like, dude, Dora the Explorer never learned anything. She just asks the same question every episode, okay? Like, find your own stupid backpack, you know what I mean?
I mean, what's next? Some sort of withering put down about the size of my penis?
Oh, God, no. I actually thought it was a belly button. Honestly, for like a year straight.
A belly button.
Hey, wow, it's about the motion of the ocean, okay? I am Knuff. Yeah, so... stuff. Sean storms off and no one hears from him the rest of the night. Later, Nikki can't get back into his and Sean's room, so Stephanie gets someone to open the door and they find Sean dead.
So, The maid opened the door. And there he was.
Now, okay, so this is about the 45-minute mark of the movie here. Up to this point, I gotta be honest, I was actually kind of enjoying the movie a lot more than I thought I would. Compared to the first one, I feel like the jokes were funnier, the performances are more interesting. Some people are just absurdly over the top, but I mean, what do you expect? Like, super cliche, super cheesy, but all in all, it's fairly watchable. And then we enter the second act of the movie here, and oh my goodness. Whatever I was expecting, I got something else. So for some reason, the police kind of just sweep the whole dead ex-husband thing under the rug, even though it sure makes things easier for Emily getting custody of her kid going forward, and she was just in prison for murder and attempted murder, but I mean, come on. Does this look like someone who would hatch up an evil scheme to you? So Stephanie starts following him around. What is that? What is... I love how she has this hat and a sun umbrella. Like, what is this gonna do for you at this point? Now, while following Emily, Stephanie also realizes that someone's been following her this whole time, so she goes to confront them about it, as you do.
FBI.
You're FBI. Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
Dressed like that?
I'm undercover.
Okay. Why are you following me?
Do you know this woman?
That's Emily's Aunt Linda.
Yeah, so about 8 minutes after the Sean plot twist, we get another wrinkle where the FBI is on a case where they're actually following around Emily's Aunt Linda.
She's at the dress barn. That's right around the corner from the book nook.
Well, yeah, this was taken the same day as your reading.
Linda was in Warfield. Who's that?
Possible accomplice.
Right. Wait, that's Emily.
So now Stephanie has to worry about Emily murdering her ex-husband, maybe, and also Aunt Linda is doing things and stuff.
Oh, Stephanie, my goodness, you gave me such a fright.
I'm so sorry.
How are you, sweetie?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just here to check on Emily.
Oh, Joe.
Well.
Hey, you know, okay, to be fair, this is about how every conversation went for me when I tried talking to a girl until I was like 26. Hi. Hello. Anyway, so the next day, it's time for the big Italian mafia wedding. Don't let your period stop you. So they get married and they're all blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, the typical post-wedding dinner party thing where Dante puts on a big show where he burns up the prenup and then his mom's like, what?
This is my prenup. And this. It's the fire of love.
Now, on top of marrying the love of your life or whatever, this whole wedding is also for the purpose of bringing these two rival mafia families together and having them celebrate Dante's marriage as like a sign of friendship or something.
To peace.
Peace between those I love.
But even more than that. Pace. Pace. Fra Bartolo e Versano.
But like, I cannot imagine a worse place to solidify a tumultuous friendship than a wedding. As a sign of friendship, I would like to introduce you to all my weird relatives I never talk to for reasons that will soon become very apparent. Remember when I told you about why I'm so emotionally volatile and have this entire sack of issues I'm dealing with? Well, here's my mom, the star of the show. And then there's the after wedding, after dinner party thing. I know a lot about weddings if you couldn't tell. And like, you all know how weddings go, right? The groom gets murdered. And then he gets exploded by fireworks. Just a typical small-town wedding. So for some reason, everyone turns on Stephanie and thinks that she murdered Dante because she just wanted to sell more books and get more subscribers. Even Emily's on board with this idea, apparently.
We'll be hearing from my lawyers as soon as I figure out how to get a lawyer.
Leave us.
No, stop. Just, I cannot get over these outfits.
All I ever wanted was someone who was mine, but you took that from me.
What are you talking about? What are you doing?
You told me once you loved me, and I take that kind of declaration very seriously.
You're not Emily.
Blah. So like the last 40 minutes or so of this movie is just the messiest, stupidest thing. Like, I'm just gonna lay it all out for you, okay? So Stephanie escapes house arrest and sneaks over to talk to Emily's mom, who's staying just a few doors down.
I wanted to ask you about Hope and Faith's triplet. Charity, the one who didn't survive.
I saw her. And she's creeping around in the shadows in a bad wig. She is the hammer of the Almighty.
And we find out that Aunt Linda was the midwife who delivered Hope and Faith. But also, there was a third twin, a triplet as some would say, named Charity, who Aunt Linda said was stillborn, but actually, she just abducted her and raised her as her own daughter, because Aunt Linda is actually some kind of extortion, blackmail, husband always ends up dead with a big life insurance policy kind of thing, and she was using Charity to swindle all these men. The FBI has been investigating Linda, who's here at the wedding because she planned on using Charity to impersonate Hope, aka Emily, to trick Dante into marrying Charity and therefore setting them up for life with like $20 million. So this was actually Charity because Emily's been chemically paralyzed and kept prisoner in her own room this whole time.
We don't need a woman or a man, we just need each other. I'm only ever gonna make you feel good. So good. So good because it makes me feel good. Do you want to see what I mean?
I can't eat what, why, who's, oh right, also the whole marriage itself was a sham because actually turns out Dante was gay.
One day he told me about his great love, the one that he could never be with, because of his last name. Bartolo.
Mateo.
Yeah. Yeah, I make a pretty cute beard.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the hot new game show. Is he gay or just European? Let's go to Mo with the leaderboards. Mo? Yeah, so this is just like 4 seasons of Days of Our Lives rolled into 55 minutes. As I said, the first half of the movie is actually pretty okay. Like, it's not amazing, but it's better than I thought. And then... what? I barely survived 7 seasons of Riverdale, okay? I thought I was invincible at this point, but here I am. So the end of the movie. Okay, Stephanie and Emily are riding around in this cute little Vespa, Lizzie McGuire style, and they go to confront Charity and Linda, who have taken Nikki hostage. And then they argue and fight, and Nikki, who somehow gets his drone from somewhere, and he uses it to distract Aunt Linda, and together they push her off a cliff. So upset you just end up falling down a cliff for like 45 minutes. And so Charity takes Emily's place in prison, and Emily kind of disappears into the mafia family because the prenup was destroyed, so Emily legally has a right to like everything, and Dante's mom just kind of has to deal with him. just hanging out by the fountain, dressed very normal.
I have a single favor to ask of you.
There's gonna be like 6 more of these movies, aren't there? But yeah, that's pretty much more or less where Another Simple Favor comes to an end. When I saw the Rotten Tomatoes score, I was like, huh? But then you look at the actual Metacritic score and it paints a very different picture. People are just putting anything on streaming these days. You know, for those of you who haven't been watching for many, many years, I used to do what I do now at the end of these videos where I kind of talk a little more openly and candidly about like my thoughts or whatever. And like I did that for the first couple of years I made videos, and then I stopped because I thought nobody cared. And then recently I put up a community post about like asking about like old videos versus new videos, and a lot of people wanted these to come back. But sometimes with movies like this, it's like, I don't really know what more to say, honestly. It's a movie that tries really hard. I'll give it that. There's really this thing where it's like, if a movie looks very pretty and has cool outfits and has pretty people or whatever, then like that's kind of enough for most people. It's like bright flashy colors and maybe there's some cool music drops, then it's like that's like enough, I guess. The movies that I like tend to be a lot more simple and like actually make sense, which I'm so quirky, right? But like movies like this are a perfect example of where it's just like, they're just try to put a bunch of everything in a movie, and like maybe if you like sensory overload people enough, they won't notice that like it's just complete nonsense garbage, you know? But you know, there's gonna be like 4 more of these movies probably. So get ready.